said you're voting at 1:30.
Am I?
Yeah.
I did a hotel last night because I needed a shower. So, but I sleep on my couch. I'm sleeping on my couch tonight. I start my day with hot coffee before I move to the nitro brew cold press coffee kegerator I have in my office.
It's the first and last vote.
I work. I come up here to do a job, paid a lot of money to do a job. Like, I just want to work. If I go down there now, the front of the line, I want to be in the front of the line.
You have to take me back the first time that you walked in here, the first time that you saw your name on that
I
door.
cried. I cried. Yeah, I touched my name on the wall, and I didn't think I'd be alive at 43, let alone a member of Congress. And so to see how far I've come in the last 25, 26 years is remarkable.
You made some history.
The first Republican Congresswoman from South Carolina. And before that, I was the first woman to graduate from the Citadel, the military college of South Carolina, and I did that in 1999.
We, like you, have found ourselves dictated by the law of the land at our institution will also become co-ed.
Do you believe it's second chances?
I do, and I talk about this a lot. I believe my life has been a series of second chances, so as much success as I've had, I've also failed. I had many challenges growing up. I was raped when I was 16 and by someone that I went to high school with.
Wow.
And I dropped out of school shortly thereafter, right at my 17th birthday. And my first job was on the side of the interstate, waiting tables at a Waffle House, because my parents said, if you're gonna stop going to school, then you gotta start going to work. Obviously, the physical trauma of that kind of experience, but also the emotional trauma. It lasts a lifetime. And it literally took me 25 years to be able to talk about it publicly, and the only reason I had is because we were debating a fetal heartbeat bill and there were no exceptions for women who'd been raped. You worry about the judgment that people are going to cast upon you.
I know you wish that you would have shared what happened to you when it did happen, but is there a part of you that is grateful for the way that you did it?
There are so many that have that same story, that same struggle. And when you talk to them, you see the tears in their eyes, and you see that it made a difference in their life because they said, I went through that same thing and I couldn't talk about it.
And those moments, I'm sure, have meant a lot to you too.
100%. I'm tearing up thinking, but it had an impact, and it took 25 years, but when I was able to talk about it, I realized it made such a difference in so many women's lives that they too can have the courage to finally share. And then I hear their secret, and it's our secret. And it's important for us to recognize that and acknowledge it, talk about it, and make it better for the women who come behind us, for our daughters. It's also the reason I went to the Citadel, having those experiences. I knew that if I could get through the Citadel, face that challenge, have the courage and the confidence to go through that experience, that I would be a better person. And now I feel it doesn't matter what happens. I have the confidence to be able to speak up. And when it comes to politics, sometimes, many times, oftentimes, you've got to have that confidence and the courage if you're going to make a difference, especially when it means going against members of your own party sometimes. You've got to have that fortitude. These are my brass balls that I had as a state house rep. I think after the last week, they wanted me to have them at least in the interim.
To go from being a high school dropout to now a sitting member of Congress.
I don't even believe it. It's crazy, right?
Why did you decide to run for office?
You know, life takes you on these paths. Sometimes you travel down a road that you didn't know you were going to travel down, and it changes your perspective. I realized there was this whole other side that I had no idea about politics and how the government was run.
Hey everyone, Representative Nancy Mace here. Full day of door knocking throughout the South Carolina's 1st Congressional District. Very excited about the responses that we're getting. If you're not buying what Nancy Pelosi's selling, then I'm asking you to send a new Nancy to Congress.
In 2017, I ran for a state house seat, had a special election, and decided to run then. And then when Republicans lost this seat in 2018, it was one of my kids that came to me and said, hey, Mommy, when are we going to take out my predecessor and win this seat back. And so my kids are the reason I ran for Congress.
Everything is here. Yeah, your desk?
Your desk. My bed.
Sleep literally in bed.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing right now.
Not even 6 feet away.
Yeah.
Walk me through how you live in your office.
Yeah, well, so we have a closet.
Okay.
And I put a little mini fridge in here. But I have clothes. I'll leave a few outfits up here. All my hair, all of those supplies, shoes. I've got high heels and boots for days. And then a refrigerator stocked full of vodka and water. It's just vodka and water in there. And I eat a lot of chocolate. So that works. But then you have this tiny bathroom every day. And you can see like I've got my makeup here, perfume and hairspray in here, toothbrush from brushing my teeth, curling iron. I've got everything. And this is where I get ready, this tiny little corner when I'm here.
Wow.
Yeah.
So this is it. This is all.
This is it. Yeah.
Desk, couch, bed.
Hair dryer, makeup.
Hair dryer, makeup, curling iron.
Yeah. Yeah. This is where the magic happens. And of course, you know, when you're wearing a mask, all this stuff gets worn off during the day too.
And you're making this decision. You're making the decision to also sleep in your office. In a lot of ways, it shows how dedicated you are to your constituents, to the work, how seriously you're taking this.
Yeah, it is. And I want to be an effective member of Congress. I want to govern. And given how divided our country is right now, it's important that we recognize that we're here for a job.
Take us back. January 6th was your first 100 hours.
It's crazy.
And so much of it was filled with fear.
And it's one of the reasons I was such a strong voice coming out of that, because I wanted to make sure that this just has to stop. And we have fringes in both parties that have just caused so much division, and it continues, and I don't want to be a part of that.
I am trying to communicate to my colleagues in Congress that rhetoric has real consequences. They need to stop, and it needs to stop right now.
You supported former President Donald Trump. He congratulated you on your win. Have you spoken to him since?
Last summer and in the fall I did, but I haven't spoken to him since January 6th.
Do you believe Trump bears any responsibility for what happened?
I do, and I've been one of the strongest voices on our side, and I'm someone who supported him. He helped me win my election and vice versa. I worked for him in 2016, but the events of that day changed everything.
Because you'll never take back our country with weakness. You have to show strength, and you have to be strong.
We have to condemn it in the strongest terms possible. Anyone that participated in that, absolutely prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. As a Republican, I do believe there are millions of people out there that don't feel like their voices are being heard, and that's why you see the fringes of both parties, the extremities of both parties, getting their tentacles into so many people because they feel like they're not being heard.
Does the Republican Party need to do more when it comes to diversity, racial diversity, gender diversity, making sure that the party is representative of the faces and ideologies across the country?
We typically don't run on identity. That's just not, those aren't really our values, but it's important to me to not only have a diverse party to be representative of, but also diversity of ideas. And I'm more of an independent thinker, and my party gives me the room to be able to do that, and I wouldn't ask permission anyway.
Coming up, we head out west to see Representative Marilyn Strickland's roots.
Once she became mayor of Tacoma, I was like, okay, she's gonna go places.
And how she plans to pave the way for young girls who look just like her.
I am a hybrid of my cultural identity, but more than anything, I'm an American woman.
Hi everyone, George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.